Hello there. I'm recording this again because I literally just flicked through this for 20 minutes talking and it didn't record audio. So I'm doing an audio along with the screencast. So this is going to be a book analysis where I just kind of flick through the book and talk about how it went because I feel like this is the best way for me to show you. So front cover, it's all right. It's all right. Obviously there's things I would change. My issue is being I've realised that my issue throughout this FNP has been perfectionism because I'll just spend a lot of time on the exact same page doing it again and again and again. And I've realised that that put me back quite a lot time-wise. But that's just a flaw that I have that I didn't really wasn't too aware of until this project started. But the reason I'm saying that is because just a lot of things just didn't go right. So so this first page this is an intro to kind of welcome people into the book. Oh, what am I doing? So I use this font. I wasn't going to use this throughout the whole book, and I saw it. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like it makes things a lot less science textbook and a lot easier to read and a lot more comfortable to read because it kind of takes away from the whole like boring book vibe. But this is just kind of an intro saying what the book's about. So obviously this is a beginning. This is the first book of a series which I'll be carrying on this summer. So contents, I don't know if you can see, but it's not like the background. It's black on InDesign. This has happened on various of the pages. It's black on InDesign, but it comes up like a browny grey. So the amount of times I exported it, kind of keep changing it, and it wouldn't change. But I put up with that. Who knows? It could have been on purpose, for all they know. So the first section is on history of rave, and this is the section that I spent the most time on, just because I didn't have it was easier as I started getting into it because I could see the kind of general theme that I had created. So this first page was difficult, and it doesn't even match. It doesn't even match the other pages, but you know, it's a book, and it's still. I think it still looks alright, but it just doesn't match the theme that I was going for. But obviously, you know, yeah, it's alright. But I included in the beginning of the book, you'll see I included quite a few like newspaper bits from newspapers, just because as much as I want the book to look cool and be full of edits, it's a big priority that it's informative and it actually is legit. So I did it here as well. This is the first page of like the section on Shoom. You can see in the background it's the liquid effect that I just got so obsessed with. You'll see that throughout the project. I literally got so obsessed with that aesthetic because I didn't know how to create it before. And it's so, it's used in so many flyers and stuff, so I thought it looked very nice. But yeah, there's a very yellow theme throughout the Shoom section, obviously, to go along with the smiley face, which is what they're notorious for. But yeah, I've rinsed the liquid effect. I'm pre-warning you now. I think it worked. I think it worked. So this page, the Shoom Club page, usually I don't really do really, really simple pages, but I actually thought this worked best because I tried to lay out this page for like a whole day. I literally spent it. I couldn't make up my mind. And it turns out that it looked best simple. I think it does look nice. But there's not much text on this page. And then on the next page, there's an interview. It's an interview with Danny Rampling, Paul Oak, like all of the founders of Shoom, because I just feel like I found this interview and it just seemed like they obviously coming from their mouths, like it's a much better story than if I was to write it myself. So I thought I'd include that. And it's just them having a conversation, and that goes on for a few pages. And then I back it up with photos from Shoom. It's very hard to find. It's very hard to find photography from the 80s at the club. It was very hard to find all the photos. But yeah, obviously these pages are quite simple. They are very simple. I didn't want to... I learned as I started making the book that things... In my head I would have thought, rave, I've got to make all the pages crazy edits and look so sick. But I've realised, because there's so much text, it's best to kind of, on the text pages at least, I kept it very simple so that the edits that are included look a lot better. And it's just I don't want to overdo something that's best left alone. Some things are best left alone. But yeah, it's a really nice interview. If you haven't read the book yet, go read it. It's great. I think this edit is in the background. It's tinfoil actually. It's a tinfoil wallpaper. I just thought it looked wicked against the photos. These are photos from Molly McIntosh, who I do a profile on further on in the book, but wicked pictures. So the next thing I looked at was Fantasia, which was a rave back in the day. And I only included one flyer in this section. In my head, when I hadn't started making the book, in my head I thought that it was going to be very like loads of edits and loads of just photos, and it'd be more visual than writing. But I realised I had a lot of stuff to say. Like I bit off a lot more than I can chew. Well, I bit off a lot. Do you know what I mean? I think I managed, but yeah, I like the Fantasia section. I like how I use there's a colour matching. Quite like that. I think that works well. And once again, you can see that kind of messy text, which I use throughout the book for quotes in all of the sections. I'll put quotes in that text, just because I think that adds a nice effect. I think it's good. But yeah, this is a pretty simple section. I'm just waiting. Yeah, there we go. So here, I don't really like this page. It's just, I don't know, I don't like it. But the font, when I went to go and get it printed, I didn't flatten out that font. So I had to go through every single piece of text and flatten it so that the font wouldn't change, because I knew that the printing services, like, how will I know that they might, like, if they don't have the font, then it won't work. So I had to flatten everything. However, I think I left this little bit out, because in the actual print, it's not that font. It's really annoying, but it's alright. Once again, the background is grey. I don't know what's going on there, to be honest. I have no idea. But yeah, so that's the little Fantasia section. This is an interview with a woman called Jane Williams. I like this page. It's very simple, but I like the layout of this page. I think it looks very nice. And it's just her talking about her experiences. I found this on The Guardian. It's a wicked, contents book. Some of this stuff I really like. It's been so interesting learning about. But I think this page is very simple. And then this is the one next to it. Once again, liquid effect straight in there. My favourite. Yeah, I don't know. I like this, and I also don't like this, but the photos are wicked. The photos showing now is from an M24 party. I thought I wanted to include like legitimate kind of candid photos in the book to make it as kind of real as possible. This is the next edit on the next page. Once again, very simple, but I think it works well. However, when I printed it, what I didn't think to do is, what I noticed when I print out is I edited the photos, but the black and white is so, the photo, I don't even know, the photo behind it, the main photo on this page, is more like green undertones, and the smaller one on top is, I don't know. It's just perfectionism. I'm realising that it probably, like, everyone is telling me it looks fine, but in my head it's just not what I wanted. This is the kind of introduction to the sound chapter. I just give a little description about what you'll find, kept it simple. So The Prodigy, let's talk about this. The Prodigy, can you see the photo in the background? That photo was not supposed to be there. It was a photo of Keith Flint. It was an edit I made, and it's like, go in the background. However, when I was putting the links in, you know, on Adobe, on InDesign, you have to like relink everything all the time. I have a feeling they have the same name, because I linked in the photo, thought it was fine, got it printed, opened the book. No, before I'd even collected it, I look back on the PDF and I was like, no. But in the screen, you can see me trying to find it in the screen recording. I'll insert a photo of what it was going to be. It was a photo of Keith Flint. It was wicked. But I don't know. That's just me being a perfectionist once again. I don't know. Personally, it would have looked so much better if it was the picture of Keith Flint. But it's just me trying to find it. I'll insert a thing once again. I don't know. But I had a word with my tutor, because I was very worried that, you know, just all these small little things would bring down my grade. But I think it'll be all right. But yeah, this section is quite text. It is very text heavy. I didn't know, like, originally I was going to do 32 pages and it's 58 pages, so that shows. But yeah, I love this quote. I think that's such a funny quote on that page. I love it. But yeah, the project, it was alright. I didn't flatten all of the text though, so where it says The Prodigy there, it's a different font. However, I quite like the font that it switched to, so I don't really mind. To be honest. But yeah. Yeah. I don't know why I came back to this image. Come on, Willow. Come on, Willow. Yeah. I don't know. I think they're alright. But once again, you can see the grey. The grey is so annoying. Why did it turn grey? Why? I don't know. Took a few L's, but it's alright. It's alright. We save it. We save it. Just waiting for next click. So this section is, I was looking at the genres. So on this page, it's the kind of the main old school genres from back in the day. So acid house and techno. Whereas on the next page, jungle and drum bass, which are the most popular ones today. And I was going to do, so for the jungle and drum and bass, another popular one that came up when I was doing my Vox Pop was bassline. However, those two are the most popular. Acid house and techno were the most popular back then. There are so many genres coming out of rave. I figured I would just focus on the main, most important ones. There are so many. So many. But I like these pages. I like the font. I think it looks old school. I saw with the lines through. I saw that kind of style font on loads of rave flyers. So I went onto dafont.com. Absolute sick website. I went onto the LCD section. I was able to find this font, which I was so happy when I found it. I was so happy when I found it. It looked like, I'll include evidence of the flyers with that style. You know what I mean? This section is the drug section. Everything started with an E. These two pages I kind of tried to make like, you know, it's like a little aesthetic, little poster. But for the background, so I got two photos of, it's like hands like holding pills. I blurred them and then overlaid one of them on top of the other to kind of create this like abstract vibe. Because like if I just like, it's when you look at it properly you realise like what's actually in the photo, which I thought it looked really cool. Kept it simple. However, I wish I didn't include the page numbers in this. Like, there's some pages I just think I shouldn't have included page numbers, but you know, it's alright. It's alright. Yep. Moving on. Come on. So I like the drugs. I think I like there's obviously a theme. Once again, very text heavy. In this page, I'm just kind of talking about, well, ecstasy. And then on this is the Raver's Guide. So this is what I was worried that I would get some hate for. Not hate, but like criticism on, because so in my research I looked at a book called The ID Bible from 1987, and they had a drug section where they looked at loads of different drugs, and the author was writing stories and like experiences about the drug, and it was very like non-biased, but I thought, I don't know, PYMK, since I started, the kind of ethic behind it has been to keep it real, and it's, you know, it's about real people doing real things. So I just thought I'd stick to that PYMK vibe. So I got a couple people to write their own stories. I got them to write their own stories, like giving advice on the drugs, like their own stories, how it will make you feel, just because I feel like it's better if it's actually real content as opposed to, you know, I don't know, you can see like what I wanted to achieve with this book is something that was an easy read and like, you know, not completely serious and looking down on everything. But I think that was good. But if you read them, they are very funny. They're very, very honest. I made sure that everyone knew that their names would not be in the book. Oh no, which I think made people a lot more honest with the text. But yeah, I quite like that idea. I do like it, but the layout kind of the layout I could have done better. I could have done it better. But I like the theme. I like how I use the photos throughout. I think it's a good background. I do think it's a good background. It works well. Oh yeah. So the next part is an article from Daisy Jones, which I found on Vice, and it's why music sounds so good on drugs. I kept this page quite simple. I quite like how it turned out. It's very simple, but I think it looks well put together. But yeah, I like it. Because that's something that I think, you know, it's just an interesting little thing to add to the book, really. I found the article, I was like, that'd be great. Because I guess that's a question. That's not really a question that gets asked very much, so I thought I'd include it. But yeah, it's a great article. I like these photos a lot. Oh, wicked. Moving on. So the next section is free parties. This is a lot of text. So This page, I like the font down the side, I like the smudged effect, I think it looks pretty cool. It's actually funny because when I was spray painting the bags, that is how a lot of them turned out, literally in that exact font, because of the kind of smudge. I thought that was quite a nice coincidence, but yeah. And then this next section, I like this edit. I was really proud of that edit. I think it looks cool. So in between those two pages I just showed, there's a red acetate layer, which looks quite good because when it's over the lust, you can't really see anything. Then you pull it off and it says, it reveals a word, and it looks very cool. But I think that went well. I decided to lay off the black for a bit, you know, save the printer and actually just give it a break for a bit. So it's a lot of text. So the next, like, people I looked at were DIY Collective. Once again, I used that font for the quotes and the title. I just think it looks great. I really think it works very well. It's very messy but put together. So yeah, I talk about the history, and then at some point I will skip and check. I apologise because I'm recording an audio to something I already, you know what I mean. But yeah, I think against the black as well, the white and black pages against each other worked well. And I include some photos, of course. And then from here onwards in the book, I was like, okay, I think maybe I should include. So this is the art section, so I was like, phew, a break. So this is the edit that I did of Will. You would have seen it in my experimentation. I realised, before I'd made the book, when I was making all these edits of photos that I'd taken, when I came to making the book, I had a bit of a panic because I was like, where do I put them? Like, where is it relevant? And I don't know. So I kind of saved all my edits for the end, for the art section. And even with the flyers that I made, I mixed them in with other flyers, you'll see. So these two are just old school flyers. I got like sellotape, a PNG, and you'll see that throughout the book, and stuck things on because I think it looks quite nice, quite DIY. My laptop's about to die, oh my god. But yeah, I do like this little lookbook, we'll call it. It's a little lookbook. But yeah, and I had to be quite specific with the flyers that I've used because obviously I've looked at so many, but you know, it came down to the quality of the photo, the image, and also I chose to use very old ones. So obviously these are some of the first flyers, which aren't really looked at too often. I thought I'd include those. And you can see where, you'll see on my YouTube, I included a video where I did this like crumpled paper overlay, which I put on all of the flyers in the book, you'll be able to see. So I apologise, my laptop died, so I'm recording the rest of my crappy analysis. So following on from those old flyers, I mean, I just, you know, I did a little lookbook. Obviously, I couldn't use all of the flyers that I looked at based on the quality of them, but I also included some PYMK posters that I made. You know, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So many regrets, so many things I could have done better looking at this, but it was hard. It was hard. So yeah, little lookbook. I used the tape once again. So you can see the telepathy poster following from this one. That was the first poster I made. I thought I'd include it anyway because personally it's not my style, but I got feedback from people in my class and everyone was like, yeah, include it. Like, you've got to include it. That poster being shown now, that was my favourite. I really like that poster and you will see it. It's all around college. So the next part is, this is an interview with Molly McIndoe, who's a photographer. I like this page. I think it looks very clean, very nice. And it's an interview. She's a photographer. She's been taking photos of raves for like years and years. So these two pages there, the black and white pages, there's an acetate layer in between those two, which this spread is my absolute favourite spread. I think it looks wicked against the acetate. I'm so glad I got to use acetate because for a hot minute I thought I wouldn't be able to. But yeah, this is just kind of like a photography lookbook because obviously there's a lot of text in the book. And then here is the bibliography where I give credits to the photographers, credits to the people who wrote articles in the book, and then below that is links. Not links, but, you know, sources to all the books. That's about that really, yeah.